What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Strategic Command, my World War One series. Last I left, I think I was doing pretty well. I was holding this front here. They pushed me back pretty much almost to the starting point, which is going to fucking suck. Oh, let me hit this guy. I can push him back. I got a tank right there, too. Let me do that. And I got 4 shells. I can do some serious damage to this mother fracker. There we go. One more. Good. Alright. 1 to 5, 2 to 5, 2 to 2. Let's do this. Boom shakalaka. And then... Shit, man. Let me do this. This way I can do that. Shit. Okay, well, you know, we're slowly getting there, Oh man, where can I hit next? I could probably hit this guy. I think maybe if I hit the fucking cavalry, I can break them up. Both these guys can hit. Yeah, let me do that. Unless I hit this motherfucker. Two to zero. I could act 2 guys here, but I can kill 3 guys there. But then I can get access to this guy. Let's do this. Nice. Oh, and this is Verdun. Fuck. That's really not going to be able to do anything. Fuck. That's my dumbass. I didn't look at the fucking thing underneath the bottom. Come on, give me something. 3 to 3, 2 to 3, 3 to 3. Shit. Not odds that I want. Shit. Also, I wanted to give you guys a heads up just in case I make some stupid mistakes. I know I mentioned the last couple episodes of this series, I'm not 100%. Again, I'm not 100%. My primary care physician, I don't know if you guys are familiar, screwed up my doses for my health meds and finally got all that back on track. But now my girl wasn't feeling well last night. She was just like, I don't feel good. I got chills. I got headaches. I got this, that. My body's aching, my stomach, all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, what do you think it is? She's like, I don't know. And what if I had this guy? So there's nothing here. But this is 5 to 0. Fuck it, let's do this. Yeah, so, this morning she was like literally a wreck. I could see it in her eyes, man. I was like, don't go to work. She's like, nah, I gotta go to work. She's like, my boss wouldn't allow me calling out. And a little backstory on her boss. Yeah, so basically she told the staff, her standard policy is this, that if you cannot call out ever, sick, flu, anything, the only time you could ever call out is if you go to hospital, and then you need like a note from the hospital, and it better be something serious, like very, very serious for you to call out. And little backstory, my wife is a hairstylist, so she has appointments throughout the day, and the owner is like, well, look, I don't want our customers, our clients, whatever, to be inconvenienced. And I always come back, I was like, who gives a flying fuck? If you have the flu, they can set up another time and day for their fucking hair or go with somebody else, right? You know, it's not a life or death. This is not the daggone military where you go on active duty and you got to go, you know, fucking deal with intelligence or 11 Bravo infantry or chemical or CBRN. This is not that serious. So, I'll put this motherfucker here, I think. So, yeah, so I always get fucking riled up about this because, like, this shit pisses me the fuck off. And, oh, I can't use this fucker. I want to take Venice next, so that's why I'm moving these guys. So, yeah, I get fucking pissed off because, you know, even when you're on duty or something like that, if you're like a fucking Walking Dead, like everything fucking hurts, you're like about to pass out, you're dizzy, all this shit, you know, you are I'm not gonna say a liability, but you're a casualty in essence, right? So like, I'm trying to figure out a good position. Like if you're doing CBRN operations, right, and you have the flu, right? Obviously, it's a bad idea. But like, let's say it's fucking 110 degrees, right? You're in your chemical suit, right? And you're doing heavy work, you're sweating, and then eventually you're gonna pass out and then become a liability on the line, you know? So it's fucking stupid. And this is for something that's not that fucking serious. So shit like that pisses me the fuck off. And when I used to do CBRN, right, I was part of the CBRN decon team. If you're not familiar with CBRN, stands for, it's chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, high yield explosives, decontamination. So my unit's job was to decontaminate a civilian population from either a nuclear bomb, radiological, dirty bomb, chemical attack, anything like that. So we were thrown into the to the freaking, you know, ground zone, whatever, the hot zone, or warm zone, depending on where you fucking set up the station, because you have one team that actually goes into the hot zone, you have one team that is in the warm zone deconning, so it depends on what team you get put in. But 2 to 7, I like that. Anyway, my point is, it's fucking stupid, absolutely fucking stupid for shit. That's good. I like that. This guy's gonna get wrecked though if I do that. Let me just do this. Yeah, so I think it's fucking stupid for fucking employers. And I was just checking, Virginia is a state that doesn't safeguard you from calling out from work. So if your employer says no, well, you know, you can risk it and then lose your job, which she's kind of given the impression to the staff, who's like, if you call out and you don't have this shit, if it's not serious, like, you know, prepare to, you know, you might lose your job kind of thing, which is really fucked up, especially in this day and age where you got, like, I don't know if you guys watching TV and shit, and the coronavirus, like, that is the stupidest shit in the world. You know, I don't expect people to be 100% knowledgeable in terms of biological chemical attacks. I don't, because that's the military job or the civilian CBRN teams. But fuck, used everybody. But I do expect to use fucking common sense, and the common sense is this: if you're running a fucking business, right, and one of your employees says, hey, look, I have a fever or flu or whatever, or I'm not feeling well, and you tell them to fucking come in, you are not only infecting your other fucking staff, which, by the way, a good quarter to half our staff is sick and have been calling out. It's because of it, right? Risking their jobs. 2, you're risking the fucking, you're contaminating or fucking infecting all the fucking clients, which then in fact infect their families and friends, which then they infect other people. And then people wonder how these fucking epidemics happen. It's because of dumbasses. Really dumbasses. It's fucking common sense. You don't need a fucking degree to figure this shit out. You do not. And it drives me fucking batshit wild that, like... Fuck. Son of a bitch. Fuck. You're not gonna let me fucking go in this hex, right? To drop people. No. Yep, no. I'm gonna try to get these guys back then. This sucks. Like right there. I can't go into province like to that hex, so yeah, this is fucking foobar. There's nothing I can do. Let's make sure this way is clear. No, it's not. Look at the whole fucking German Navy's fucking destroyed. Oh shit. There goes that. Ah, fuck. There goes that. Oh shit, he still can survive. How about that? Let's kill this guy. Shit, there's so many of these motherfuckers. Save the troops. Oh, fuck. Shit. I got this guy, but he's... I'm not even gonna waste time. Yeah, so, I don't know, it pisses me off, and the reason being is, besides my wife being out of commission now, and she's sick, and is that I'm getting symptoms now, so I'm not feeling well at all. I've been, like, out of it for, like, half the day, fucking headache as a motherfucker, so shit, the early symptoms that she has, and I'm starting to get a cough. The thing that fucking fries my fucking boat is the fact that my son now, my 6-month-old, is coughing a lot. So he's getting the flu. And I am fucking livid. Like, I am fucking livid. Like, my son is gonna get, like, a full-blown flu. Other things that she does is, like, she pays people below the standard rates for those positions. No raises, no sick time, no vacation time, no leave for, like, what do you call it? Fucking, if you have a child, right? You have to kind of hope that she gives it to you. And it's kind of like, thankfully she did give it to my wife, the leave. But it's just like, this is fucked up. So if we have a child, and we have to hope. And it's unpaid. It's not like she's fucking doing us a favor. And it's just like, oh, I'm so good to you guys. You know, I did a meeting out in the lawn so you guys could have some fresh air. I was just like, you made a fucking stand. You're trying to come off as this fucking... And then, like, you don't give vacation time. You tell people, like... She's always on people about, like, if there's nothing to do, you better be doing something. Like, you have no clients, you have to clean. And if everything's clean, you got to find something to do. Otherwise, go punch out and go home. And it's just like, so my girl usually has to go home like, she's by the hour too. So sometimes she has to go home like an hour or two early because there's nothing left to do, and they can't just hang out, and just fucking do nothing. And I know some of you guys might be like, well, it is a business, and I'm like, yeah, it is a business. I understand that. Some people need this fucking money, and it's not their fault that you can't get clients to put their asses in a seat so they can do their job. Let me see. I had this, I'm trying to see what fucking I can attack. I had this guy that I used to work for, it's like a coffee thing back years ago. And I remember when it was like a slow fucking day. Like maybe I had 2 orders and I would come in for 4 or 5 hours. He would come up to me and be like, hey, listen. Oh shit, I gotta check the, show supply, show units, show grid, show upgrade tool, reinforce tool. There was a fucking mode that you can see where there might be a fucking, what the fuck, revolt soon. Shit, I don't know where that fucking thing is. Fuck. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I lost my fucking train of thought there. I think I'm good, right? There's nothing else I can do. I could fucking hit here, but it's fucking pointless. Bombers don't fucking take off. I'm gonna reinforce this motherfucker. 9-9. Let me build up some retrenchments. Right. Oh yeah, so when shit was slow, right? This boss would be, the owner would come up to me and she's like, listen, just go home. Like, there's no orders today. Not as many as orders, just go home. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, look, I'm going to pay you anyways. There's no point in you just hanging around here. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Sounds good. Thanks, man. So that guy was a really awesome guy. And he was, he was a really, really awesome guy. I really liked him. And he was one of the most, like, giving bosses. He was, I think the only, what was I saying? He was like the only guy that gave me like a Christmas bonus in terms of like cash for his small business. He was a really nice guy, and he didn't even celebrate Christmas. He was Jewish, so he actually came up to me and was like, "Here, I got you this expensive really thing that he was giving his clients, like really nice clock." And I don't give a fuck about a clock, but I took it anyway. I don't want to be a dick. And then he gave me a Christmas bonus, then he gave me my check, and then he gave me more money on top of that. I'm like, damn, dude. And I was like, you didn't have to do all this shit. I was like, so, yeah, he was a really fucking awesome guy. Do I have more troops coming? I only have 1. How much is an anti-air? I think I'm gonna fucking do that. Cool. I'll get another anti-air. They're cheap anyway. Alright. Fuck, I don't want to miss anything, so that's why I'm kind of going over shit like a couple of times. Because right now the US is in this fucking war. So I'm not only fighting France, England, right? Fucking Italy. So we're fighting this entire, basically this side of the world. Because this guy, people on this side of the world like Japan, now the US, Canada. I mean, we're facing, it's a world war. Oh, man. Anyway, so that was my piece. I get pissed off when people do that shit, especially with like nowadays with like you have the coronavirus and all that all this shit. Like you would think people would be smart and be like, hey, listen, this is fucking dangerous. People are getting sick. Let's not infect everybody because you never know what's been going around. If you have a fever or flu, stay home. A lot of places now, they don't give a shit. They want to make as much money as possible. And this woman is one of the most fucking like my girl comes home, she's like, yeah, she buys the cheapest, tools or fucking things to put on the clients, and the clients don't like it, so they lose clients. And like she keeps trying to cut expenses everywhere. And it's like, if you sell shit, you're gonna get shit. So I gotta get the Ottoman Empire into this war. I think that's probably what I'm gonna have to do next turn. I think we're good. There's nothing else I can do, I think. Everybody else went. I'm not gonna attack anymore here. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just... Alright, whatever. Yeah, I'm just pissed off by that, because now my son is getting it. Nice, good. Hopefully they leave the war. Because of this dumb person, I swear. And it's people like this, right? Like her boss, that are going to contribute. It's those type of people that are going to create a worldwide epidemic. I remember when I was doing Seaburn, my Air Force instructor, who surprisingly was, she was really freaking smart. She was, I guess, so smart that they put her in charge of, she worked on Ebola, right, in the Air Force. And so she was our instructor in terms of chemical, biological agents and stuff like that. And, during the initial training, she was going over while we were doing a school to get certified. She was basically telling us about how biological viruses work, this and that, and that how fast they can move. So you could see the coronavirus, whatever, it's spreading throughout the entire world. America, Australia, everywhere. It's popping up everywhere in the world. And that's because she was saying that modern transportation, being able to take a flight from Tokyo to Australia in a few hours can transport a virus, and once in Australia it can transport to other people, and those people are going to America, and another person's going to South America, and the virus can just propagate crazy fast. And you also have to take into consideration incubation period, things like that. But she was saying stuff like, that's why it's very critical, that it's very difficult to manage these viruses. One thing that she told us 15 years ago that I'll never forget, and still in the back of my head during the training, was that by the time you hear about it on the news, it's going to be outside your front door. Because depending on the severity of the virus, if it's she was kind of utilizing Ebola, right, or a Spanish flu kind of situation, if that ever pops its head again, right, by the time you hear it on the news, it will be outside your front door. And I know a lot of people always well, I'll get those masks, that you see in freaking CVS or Walmart. Those masks do shit. Those masks do absolute shit for a biological agent, a virus that's airborne. You ain't gonna do nothing. You're just gonna I guess, have something covering your face. It's gonna do shit. You're gonna be just as likely to get the virus as the next person. It's not gonna do anything. Now, a lot of people see the movies like Outbreak and, the movies involving biological stuff and, viruses and stuff like that. And they see the military with their gas masks. Well, there's a reason they're called gas masks, not virus masks or something like that. Because those masks do shit against biological agents. They are designed for chemicals, and not every chemical. They are designed for certain chemicals. You know, so, and from what I remember, the masks that you're issued like in basic training, those freaking masks, they're only known to cover a certain number of chemical agents. So it does shit for viruses. For viruses, right? For shit like Ebola, what you need is a full encapsulation suit, which we did have doing Seabird. But here's the catch with these suits. I'll give you a scenario here. Let's say you have to deploy to a hot zone, right? That means you have to go to a central point to go from your regular military, ACUs, BDUs, or what is it now that the military is using? I forgot the name of it. It's not ACUs, multi-camps? Is it that? I don't know. Anyway, it's almost like a woodland pattern. Anyway, you would have to get to these things. You have to take off, that, and then put on your full encapsulation suit with the tank. Same tank that, pretty much the same tank that the fire department uses. Now, those tanks will last around 45 minutes, right, roughly, depending on how you breathe. Did I just leave a spot open here? That's crazy. What the fuck? Anyway, so then you have to, so let's say you put on that thing, you have to turn on the freaking, the tank in the back that you're carrying on your back. Yeah, I lost a bunch of shit. Well, Spain's probably not going to help me out now. And then you have to get on like a Deuce and a Half, right, or Humvee, whatever, and then start getting ready to deploy. I'm gonna put that guy there. To deploy to the hot zone, and this whole process, right? Like let's say you're going on a Deuce and a Half, right? And let's say it's a 15-minute drive or 10-minute drive to the hot zone, or even let's say you're taking a Black Walk, right? 5 or 10 minutes. So you're already down to, let's say, 35 minutes, right? You get on the ground. Now, mind you, you have to work, right? You're gonna be climbing over shit. You're gonna be seeing like the nastiest things in the world. I've seen pictures of and video of Ebola victims. I don't know if you can see it online. I saw it through the military. That shit was horrific. Like when I say horrific, I mean like Walking Dead kind of horrific. Like wow, like it would make the zombies in Walking Dead what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, the zombies in Walking Dead would have looked better. So yeah, it was just something to see. I was just like, I didn't even know what it was at first. I was just like, that's a human being, or like what's left of that human being. And I was like, jeez, man, that's fucking crazy. Anyway, I'm going off my point here. So you're probably your breathing rate is gonna be higher. All right, so that means you're gonna be burning through more oxygen. So I'm gonna fucking risk it. Fuck. So let's say your breathing rate's going to be higher, this and that, and you're going to be working this and that. So you're looking at 35 minutes, right? We were talking about, let's bring that down to, let's say 25 minutes, right? Now you're thinking, well, I can get a lot done in 25 minutes. I mean, it's not a lot of time, but it's a good chunk of time. Well, figure this: you're not getting a full 25 minutes, right? and you're going to be lifting bodies, so you're going to be requiring more and more air. So, take that into account. But the big thing is that after 25 minutes, you don't just take the fucking suit off. No, you have to get back on the Black Hawk or a Deuce and a half and then fly back to the warm zone to get fully decontaminated, right? And then take off your suits. The full decontamination, depending on how fast you are, because you got to do it yourself, or at least we had to do it ourselves, it takes a whole process of a couple of minutes. I would say 2 to 5 minutes. So you don't have much time. And figuring there are going to be other soldiers in front of you. So it's not like, I get a whole boot to myself. No, there's going to be a soldier in front of you. He takes a while. You're going to take a while. So I hope you can hold your breath. And, if you get a tear in your fucking suit, goodbye. There was always the thing is just if it's a biological incident, we're still going in, right? There's not hey, we're going to keep you guys away from it. No, you guys are going in. And I remember one of my sergeants or staff sergeants in the State Defense Force, if you guys are not familiar, State Defense Force augments the National Guard. And one of the staff sergeants in the State Defense Force said to the Air Force staff sergeant, asked her a question, was just so what happens, you're going to put us into the fucking hot zone? I don't understand. So, we're going in, but you're telling us the casualty rate is going to be extremely high. She was like, yeah. So I can't say it, but I'm just going to tell you, it's don't expect to come back kind of thing. And we were just holy shit. That was kind of crazy because there's going to be a lot of casualties, especially in a massive event like that. So, anyway. Yeah, it just pissed me off, That's shit like that pissed me off. And I understand, this person, whatever, is not in the military and she doesn't know, but it's common sense. This is how fucking viruses spread. This is how epidemics start. When you're tell your fucking employees, come in, I don't fucking care if you get sick. I need my fucking money. So, probably just leave it at that because I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore. It just pisses me off. There we go. There we go. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Look at all this fucking artillery they got, man. There we go. Cleared the Ardennes. I could fucking kill their bastard. Good. All right. I got some done today. I think I'm just going to close it off here. And I know I was speaking a lot. I don't want to freaking... I hate being negative and shit. I'm always trying to be positive because that's what you got to be in life, Try to get through shit. Always look at the bright side, you know what I'm saying? There's too much shit in this world that'll fuck you up. Always try to be positive. But, fuck. Shit like that, to be honest, guys, it pisses me off because... I'm gonna blow this guy up. Should give me a national morale bonus. But shit like that pisses me off because not only does it affect, not only the country, and the spread of epidemics, and it's stupid and doesn't have, there's no common sense in it, but it affects my family. Like, my wife's sick now, I'm getting sick, and then my son's getting sick, which is the biggest thing, you know, like, that's my only child. So it just pisses me off. And it comes down to just fucking greed. It's just fucking greed. Like, you're gonna make a profit, right? You're going to make money. Put other people's consideration. And I know when people get that fucking money, it becomes like they would do anything. They would sell their fucking family to maintain that rich lifestyle, you know. Fuck everybody. I need my fucking money, you know. And it there's more to life than money, you know. It really is. I'm all down with, you know, if you want to go and get 6 figures. A lot of the people I work with in my job, they're making really good money. And, you know, buying this and buying that and having really nice cars, this and that. I'm not one of those people. I don't make that much money. But, you know, like, I don't hold in resentment. Like, if you want to drive a Beamer or those big, really fancy cars, whatever which one he has. And it's nice. And, you know, I get a lift in it every so often. So it's nice to be in those fucking nice, beautiful seats. I tell you, his fucking car is fucking more comfortable in my bed. But, you know, like, I have no fucking problem. The problem that I have comes down to, like I was just saying, you know, don't fucking put other people's welfare in front of don't put your fucking money in front of other people's welfare. And my boss at my job is fucking awesome, because one of my coworkers, this was around the time where, like, you're not supposed to call out, right? You have to come. It's not, you don't have to come to work, but this is like a grind time, right? Like, we need you at work. And he had like a migraine, and my boss was like, dude, stay home. I was like, you sure? It's like, yeah, stay home. We'll gotta cover it. Don't worry about it. Just go feel better. If you got a migraine, you know, just go take care of yourself. And I was like, damn, my boss is fucking awesome. Like, you know. So, you know, that was fucking good. And I appreciate like that. Like, his stock went up multiple points in my book. But I'm just going to end it right here, guys. I'm just going to stop my fucking ranting before I get too pissed off. You know. Let me swap you out for this guy. All right. Catch you guys in the next one. Oh, no, I didn't want to quit. I need to save.